All right, today I'm not going to have nearly as much material for you as yesterday, which is good. I'm just going to tell you about cycloalkanes, but I'm also going to tell you about a new way of making diagrams that's going to be super useful. All right, so cycloalkanes are hydrocarbons that form the structure of an enclosed ring. If they're saturated, they're cycloalkanes. We'll actually get into unsaturated hydrocarbons next week. Okay, I'll show you how to name these. It's really simple. The simplest cycloalkane has 3 carbons because you can't have 2 carbons in a ring. It would just be a line. Okay, it's propane if it has 3. If it's in a ring, it's called cyclopropane. Okay, and check it out. Its formula would be C3H6 because every carbon atom takes 2 bonds to the neighboring carbons. So it only has 2 remaining bonding electrons for hydrogen. Okay, this guy, I got 4 carbons, so I think you'll agree or predict that this will be cyclobutane. If you count it up, it's C4H8, and we can generalize here. In general, cycloalkanes have a formula CnH2n. Okay, now let me tell you about line structural diagrams because they are cool, they look cool, you're going to feel really smart using them, and you don't have to write all these hydrogens. It drives me crazy. So they only indicate the location of carbon atoms, and the carbon atoms are located at the end of a line or an intersection. Okay, so I've actually already drawn 4. 2 of them should look pretty familiar. Check it out. This one, does it look like that? Following the rules, the carbons are at the end of lines or intersections. The intersections are here, here, and here. Okay, that is cyclopropane. This guy, I drew it as a diamond. You could draw it as a square. That's cyclobutane. So I just wanted to show you how useful it is because, man, it's much quicker. When it's in a straight line, maybe it's a little more confusing. So the carbons go at the end of lines and intersections. So this is 3 carbons in a line. Okay, we assume it's saturated because we don't know anything else yet. 3 carbons in a line, that's just propane. We can have branches too. So I always like to indicate where the carbons are. This has a parent chain of 4 carbons. This is a methyl. It's on carbon 2, but we've already actually dealt with this. If it was on carbon 3, we would just start numbering from the other side. So this is methyl butane. We'll get more practice, but I want you to like these line structural diagrams because I sure do. And you see them a lot in organic chemistry. Okay, they're much more efficient than writing it all out. Okay, so let's name them now. So when you're naming branch cycloalkanes, you number the carbon atoms starting at a branch. So these can be rotated in any way, so there's no, like the top one isn't necessarily 1. Okay, actually looks like I made 2 where the top one will be 1. I'll change that up. Okay, and you go in a direction, you can go clockwise, anti-clockwise, whatever you want. Whatever will give you the smallest numbers. Okay, so here I've got a cyclic alkane or cycloalkane with 6. So that's cyclohexane. I've got 2 methyls, right? I'm going to call this guy 1. And if I go this way, I'll get 2, 3. I'll get 5 for this guy, but if I go clockwise here, I'll get 3. So this is going to be 1,3 dimethyl cyclohexane. Let's take a look at this one. Okay, we've got cyclobutane. There's a methyl and an ethyl, and they're at 1 and 2. Doesn't matter which one you start. Personally, I actually don't know the rules here, but I think it would be 1 ethyl, 2 methyl. Okay, but in this course it's ambiguous. So if this was a test and you wrote 1 methyl, 2 ethyl, I would consider that correct. Okay, I just like to put the smaller numbers first. Why does ethyl come before methyl? Alphabetical. Those rules still apply. So when we learn something new, all the old rules still apply. Okay, let me just throw another one at you here. I guess I'll do another butane. I'll make it crazy. Whoa, what's going on here? Okay, so it's cyclobutane. This is a methyl. This branch has 3 carbons. I said you might see 1 or 2. That's a propyl branch. Okay, so we got a propyl and a methyl. I would call this one 1-methyl. Start numbering with the lower letter, although I won't mark you wrong if you started at propyl. 1-methyl, 3 propyl, cyclobutane. Again, show your friends in grade 11 or your parents. They're going to think you're really smart because you are.